What is up, everybody? This is Data Boy TCG here, back at it again with another video. My name is Ed, the TCG analyst, and today we're going to be doing something a little more fun along the lines of looking at this Mega Charizard X card, and how much money do you need to score to not only pull the Mega Charizard XEX, but also score a PSA 10. So we'll do kind of like a fun data analytics on this. This card has been kind of going on a tear. Let's look at the 3-month graph here. Kind of dropped all the way down to 423 back in December when things really got bad for Pokemon, like that 30% market retraction. We're back. We back up to around 620, 646 actually. Now stabilizing around the low or high 500s here. And we'll also take a look at the Gold Mega Charizard XEX as well, in terms of how much money do we need to pull this, and also get a PSA 10 on it. So as a bit of a preview, we're gonna have to consider gem rates, the pull rates, and the pack prices, the sealed product prices. So now we go into our handy dandy Excel. We love Excel here. We first start off with the Phantasmal Flames hit rate, and the source for this was this PokeBeach article. I'm not sure how accurate all of this is, but in my eyes, PokeBeach is kind of like one of the more accurate and true sources that you could actually kind of take from. So we'll go with these numbers. The numbers I got out of there. Packs required for an SIR is 80. That's not bad at all compared to some of the other sets. But for a specific SIR, that would be 400 packs required. In those 400 packs, you might hit a different SIR, but you never know which SIR you're actually gonna hit, because you do still have like the Mega Sharpedo SIR or the Dawn SIR. So those are all taken into the consideration in terms of like the number of packs required. For the hyper rare or the gold card for the Charizard XEX, there is only one of them. So the packs required is actually only 1260 packs required. That's pretty good for a gold card compared to MEO1. But still definitely a difficult pull. So let's jump straight into it. We need to make some assumptions here. We have to assume that only 50% of cards pulled are either graded or are gradable. What does this mean? You'd be surprised at the number of people that don't grade their copies and they keep it as binder copies, or people just pull it and the centering is just awful, or there's like terrible whitening on the back. You see imperfect like fallacies in the card itself in terms of a QC perspective. It's automatically people don't grade it, right? So we're gonna, just to make the math a little more simple, we're gonna assume that 50% of the Mega Charizards pulled, only 50% of them are even sent in for grading. So from this, these are the new packs required to even hit a gradable copy of the SIR or the Mega Charizard XEX in particular, or the Gold Card Charizard. So the pack, pretty much since it's 50%, you'll need twice that of the hit rates here. So for the SIR, this is just the formula times 2 of the actual packs required for an SIR, so 160 for a gradable copy of any SIR. 800 packs required for the Mega Charizard XEX to even get to a gradable copy. The Gold Charizard, you would need a whopping 2,500 packs of Phantasmal Flames. So other things to consider, obviously, PSA hit rate. I went directly to PSA over here. I just refreshed this, so we can even, I think there's even more added since the time that I kind of put this Excel together. As you can see here, PSA 10 is now 7872. Let's see what it was before. So it even increased in a day's time. So, and the total pop is 12037. So we'll update those. What did that change to? I guess that didn't really change in terms of the overall gem rate. Such a small number, but we still want to update this one. The code, I'm looking at the codes here. It's kind of difficult to look at the PSA website and figure out which cards it's referring to. So the code for the gold card would be 130. So there's only 657 of those. Very low. Total pop would mean 4234. Gem rate, did it change? Let's check. Went from 15.5% to 15.5%, so the overall gem rate did not change. But we have updated numbers as of the night of February 24th, 6:30 p.m. PST. So these are the gem rates. Whoops. Pretty good gem rate for the Mega Charizard XEX code 125. So this one on the left here. Um, there's a lot of PSA 10s, and I think a lot more are currently being graded with all the PSA backups. A PSA order that I sent over in November still hasn't been graded, so that just tells you the way things are. There's definitely delays here. Gem rate is super high, 65.4%, as compared to like the Umbreon from Prismatic Evolutions, that's around 30%, just over 30%. So you can tell, even though it's a chase, it's got very good gem rates. For the Gold Charizard, it's a different story here. Total pop of 4,200 versus the PSA 10 pop of 657 with a gem rate of 15.5%. So definitely difficult to even pull, first of all, to pull the card itself, and then to also get a PSA 10 for this card is pretty much nearly impossible. I think the gold cards have a lot of issues in terms of like cracking on the gold, like this portion of the gold card itself. But that's just what I've been hearing. So moving on here. So what can we learn from this? So packs required to even get a gradable copy of the Mega Charizard X SIR over here. You need 800. We've already figured that out up top because 50% of the cards pulled are gradable copies, or even graded. Packs required for a PSA 10. This uses the gem rate here. So this is the packs times 1 divided by 65.4%. That gives us kind of the packs required to hit kind of like the gem rate here. So and then this column D here would be Phantasmal Flames pack price as of 223. Let's change that because it might have increased. I do want the most updated ones. Where I go to the cheapest pack prices is obviously price per pack.net. It's the cheapest price for single Phantasmal Flames booster pack is $697 through the Phantasmal Flame sleeve booster case, but let's just use that number just to simplify things. So 6.97 still hasn't changed. So the dollars needed for a PSA 10 is just the packs required for a PSA 10 times the actual market price of the Phantasmal Flames pack, cheapest market price. So this is pretty much the minimum price you would need. This doesn't even consider the shipping or the tax, where depending on, like, if you live in California like me, it's almost 9% sales tax. So we're not even considering that. So theoretically, this would be more expensive, but you need $8,500 to even pull PSA 10 Mega Charizard X EX SIR here from Phantasmal Flames. Something a little fun that I added here in the blue cells. How many booster boxes is that? That's 237 booster boxes. Just based on packs. And it's just a measure of. I'm using just the measure booster boxes as a measure here because the booster boxes themselves have a premium, but theoretically you would need 237 booster boxes to even get to a Mega Charizard XEX. How many ETBs does that require? ETBs have 9 packs here, so as you see, the PSA 10 dollars needed for PSA 10 divided by 9 packs gives us 947 ETBs required to even pull a gradable PSA 10 worthy Mega Charizard X EX SIR. Gold card here, it takes 16,200 packs using the same kind of data analytics here as the SIR. And you actually need over 100K to even get a chance to pull a PSA 10 worthy copy of the Mega Charizard XES because of the low gem rate, 15.5%. So how many booster boxes? That's 3,000 booster boxes for the gold card, 12,600 ETBs to even pull a gradable PSA 10 worthy gold Charizard card from Phantasmal Flames. Looking at the prices, the PSA 10 price is for the Mega Charizard X SIR is $1,800. Kind of, we've been kind of going up a little bit. I imagine these prices will go down further as I believe more are definitely at PSA, stuck at PSA with grading. And with these high of gem rates, we're definitely going to see an increase in the pop. Probably at the end of the life cycle, I would expect at least, I'm not even sure, at least 30,000 PSA 10 pop. I think that's an understatement as well. If you consider the 151 Charizard, for example, that has a lower gem rate but has a huge PSA 10 pop. So something to consider there. Mega Charizard X XEX is the gold card is at $3,300 for the PSA 10. So definitely more difficult to pull. I don't know. I mean, I understand the gold cards are not as popular and seems kind of lazy to a lot of people. But I think over time, just due to the scarcity of it and the difficult gem rates due to printing issues with these gold foils, I think that's going to be definitely a collector's kind of item, 5-10 years down the line. So something to consider here. Obviously, some notes here. These results do not consider price fluctuations of cards or sealed items as time passes. So this is if you were. This analysis only works if you have all the packs already for this set price of $6.97 per the Phantasmal Flames booster pack, and PSA turns it around in, I don't know, like a day or two or like a week, in terms of like your grading. So yeah, another thing to note here: PSA turnaround times are not considered currently. You could send it to other grading companies to get a better grade, but that would need different numbers. For example, like a BGS Black Label 10. I'm sure the numbers are even worse, but hope this was kind of helpful in terms of how many packs do you need, how much money do you need to spend to pull a Mega Charizard XEX and get a PSA 10 as well. The numbers tell us the odds are definitely not in your favor. So I understand ripping packs is very fun and there's a lot of dopamine involved. Trust me, I have pulled some of my chases and there's no other feeling like it. But I think that's the dangerous part. So be responsible with your pulls. As you can see here, the numbers just don't add up, especially if you're aiming for the PSA 10 copy. So yeah, that's pretty much it for today. Hope you all enjoy the analysis. Leave any comments if you have any questions. And what other analysis would you like to see next? This kind of analysis for a different card. And yeah, hope everyone has a great night. And okay, bye.